All right, the final song on our Eraser EP is ClayFace. And this song has been kicking around for a couple years now. This was actually the second collaboration that Lucia and I ever did when it was for my solo stuff. But when we were putting this EP together, I was thinking this would be a perfect sort of ending track for what we've been doing. And I really didn't want this song to go away. And I really wanted to be able to play it live. And I was like, let's make it Human Hollow. It was basically the first Human Hollow song to exist before we actually were a band. So what I ended up doing was pretty much just adding in better guitars, better drums, and redoing my vocals and stuff. But the core of it's pretty much identical to the first iteration we had. Lucia's vocals were absolutely perfect. The whole concept of ClayFace came from a lot of true crime stuff I had been listening to. There was a book by Anne Rule about the Green River Killer, and there was this moment where she's discussing when police find remains at a crime scene, there will be, fragments of a skull, but it's people that are unknown, unidentified. They get forensic artists to reconstruct faces to kind of figure out what the person might have looked like. And there was a passage in there where she said something to the effect of, the artists use erasers and clay to reconstruct the faces. And my brain immediately was like, that's a song, there's something in there. Erasers, ClayFace, who are you? Like, that was kind of the through line of what this person is doing. They're trying to figure out who this person was. I didn't even know forensic artists worked with clay. And it was such an interesting concept that I've never heard before, especially in a song. And so, yeah, the song kind of wrote itself. I went home that night after coming up with that little nugget of an idea, and I came up with the whole chord progression, and I got the mic out, and the first verse just fell out immediately. I've never written anything like that before, and I never could figure out a way to top it. So the second verse took me forever, but wow, the whole thing was just so there. And when I brought it to Lucia, oh my goodness, I knew exactly what vocals I wanted them to do, and the first time I heard them do it, I had such an emotional response, because it's so haunting, it's so gorgeous, it's so heartbreaking that, yeah, just hearing you say, who are you, and show me all of this stuff, it just added such a huge dimension to the track that was not there. I feel like all of the emotion really comes through you.
Yeah, and in my opinion too, I got even just hearing it, and again, I think I've previously alluded to Austin's storytelling, and just the lyrical content and the way the music was delivered, the way the vocals were delivered, where it's a haunting subject, but it also feels safe to work through. I don't know. There's definitely moments where I have very particular memories of our musical relationship, and also me getting to know Austin before we were actually talking to each other all the fucking time and whatnot. But yeah, when you're giving me the backstory, I was I had no idea about this whole part of the process or certain details, and I think it's also really important to see all the different sides to these stories, and especially things that are never really solved, or but just trying to bring closure to things that cannot be solved. I think this one just between the vocals, how they blended, and also just how haunting yet hopeful the track is, and just the attention to details that maybe a lot of people overlook.
No, I feel the same way. I'm really happy that it's now part of this EP, because I think that it closes up this concept EP that we had, and instead of ending on a dark note, I feel like we're kind of ending it on a little bit of an emotional, slightly uplifting thing, because it's gonna be haunting regardless, but at least there's always a glimmer of hope in that there could be some closure for people. At least that's what that job exists for, I think. And yeah, I just feel like it's a perfect little closer for the EP, especially since it's such a powerful song to us. And I know it means a lot to me. So.